Hi guys, in today's video I thought I will share with you a DIY project on how to create your own rope mirror. These mirrors are quite popular these days, so let's go ahead and get started. So guys, before we go ahead and get started, you will need to get yourself a few supplies. Here I'm using some nautical rope and a round mirror. At this stage, you could use any shape of mirror you got in hand. Next, I went ahead and prepped my mirror for its next step. Afterwards, I went ahead and took my nautical rope and measured it to the length of my mirror and cut it to size. So guys, now that we have our nautical rope cut out to the dimensions of our mirror, the next step is to go ahead and cut out smaller strips of rope. Next, I went ahead and folded my rope in half, measured the distance between the mirror and the plank, and then cut my rope to the required length. Afterwards, I went ahead and used that rope as a guide and cut out several more pieces of rope. I went ahead and repeated this process until I had enough pieces of rope to complete my project. So guys, now that we have all of our pieces of rope cut to size, it's time to start putting it together. So this next step is so simple and easy to do. How I went about it was I took my longest piece of rope and then using those smaller pieces of rope that we cut out, I started tying knots onto my longer piece of rope. At this stage guys, you could go ahead and tie this into any type of knot you prefer. Afterwards, I went ahead and repeated this knot tying process until I came to the very end of my rope. Next, once you're done tying your knots, this is how it should look like. Afterwards, I went ahead and took my mirror and placed my rope onto it to see whether it fits. Next, I went ahead and took some tape and taped the two edges together. Afterwards, once I was done taping the edges together, I then took another piece of rope and tied a knot onto the tape to cover up the tape and also to finish the look. Now it's all ready and it's time to glue it onto the mirror. Here I'm using my hot glue gun to glue this rope garland onto my mirror. Now it's all glued down and it's ready for its next step. Next, I went ahead and started fraying all of my rope edges. I repeated this fraying process until I came to the very end. Once I was done with all of my fraying, I wanted to fill up the gaps in between those knots. So I decided to take two pieces of rope from either side and tie it into a knot. I repeated this process until I came to the very end of my gap. Now it's all done and the next step is to give this a little bit of a trim. Here I'm using my scissors to give this a bit of a trim. At this stage, you could cut this as long or short as you wish. So guys, this is how my boho style rope mirror turned out. I'm so in love with it. Hope you guys like it.